Tell me, how much do you love trees, dude? How much are you willing to put your life on the line for a tree? How far will you go to protect your trees? What are you willing to do to protect your family of bark? If someone attempts to cut down your divine evergreen, are you going to let them? Now, you see, I'll do anything, man. I'll go to any length to keep this baby mahogany alive. I'll straight up kill a man, dude. I will kill a man for this tree. Now, you see, there was this folk tale by the great Dr. Seuss who told of the guardian that would protect the trees from their intruders. The guardian was called the Lorax, and guess what? He failed. He sucked. He had one job and he didn't do it because he was a dumb, lazy boy. Now, you see, this was a beautiful tale, drawn with such character and personality, and told with only the most important parts to keep children's attention. This was a great story. I loved it very much when I was a kid because it actually was interesting. It actually made me feel like I should do something in the world to be better. So when they made a 2012 movie about this incredible story, one can only hope that they kept the same personality and charm throughout the entire story, right? Am I right? Nah, look at this dude. Looks like I scraped him off the bottom of my popcorn bucket. The Lorax is a 2012 computer-generated music video of Misery, created by the infamous Illumination Studios. Now, the Lorax is this wonderful story about fighting corporate greed and going against everything that just destroys the environment for monetary and successful gain. It's a simple story, clear message, and it's just really nice. Now, who better to animate a movie about fighting corporate greed than the greediest, money-hungriest animation studio currently existing? Okay, I'm like being a little like negative right off the start, so let me look at the positives. Colors: pink, orange, red, pretty blue. Blue color, I like that color. The Lorax is just basically a terrible half-baked movie made by people without heart, without soul, without any desire to tell a story, and instead a desire for that sweet, sweet bread. This movie doesn't help further the message that we should be saving our planet, or saving trees, or standing up to the man. Instead, it sings terrible songs written by a tone-deaf dummy boy. The main story of the Lorax is about this once-lore dude being a dumb tree cutter who cut down the trees to make some cash. The Lorax be like, dude, can you like not, like, this forest is pretty? There's bears and stuff. Come on, dude, don't ruin our vibes. But once the once-lore ruins the vibes and the world becomes this gross, polluted mess, the Lorax is like, alright, shit. Of course, making a feature-length movie off of this short children's book is no easy feat. It's hard to just create stories to add the stories out of thin air, but golly, does this movie just do it terribly. Instead of being this polluted, gross land, this movie opts for the more colorful route, even in the scenes that are supposed to be sad. It looks pretty and nice, so like, how am I supposed to feel, dude? What I'm trying to say is that this movie is messy. It's very, very messy. It makes me sad. I'm sad because this movie was a formula for greatness. I mean, the voice cast alone: Zac Efron, Troy Bolton, my love, Taylor Swift, she's pretty rad, and dude, we even got Danny DeVito voicing the Lorax himself. That's incredible. That's like the perfect combo for a movie. Danny DeVito as the Lorax, come on, dude. Zac Efron as the main kid, oh my god, who can pass this up? But yet, they wasted the potential. The film begins with these dork minions on the intro logos cutting down a tree. Yo, that's so cute. Deforestation is adorable, but don't worry, one of these dudes gets smashed. We then see Danny DeVito Lorax come out on stage and tell us a story. The story leads us into Thievesville, Devsville. We just get the worst musical number intro I've ever heard. That's how they pad out this movie's runtime. They create terrible musical numbers without heart and soul. These are all just songs that are literally just terrible. And I don't care if your music taste is subjective. I can't play it here because of copyright, but just imagine the sound of babies crying coupled together with iPhone alarms and someone chewing really loud. During the musical number, we see this short dude jump out a blimp like he's Sportacus in Lazy Town. We also meet Zac Efron boy meet up with Taylor Swift girl. She shows him trees on his wall, and she's like, dude, if I got got a tree, I'd marry whoever got me that tree. And guess what? This boy's mission is to get her a tree. So the main plot of the Lorax is just some dude who's so dangerously horny that he'll save the planet just to get with her. Now that's what Dr. Seuss would have wanted, I'll tell you that. So we then see a short little guy be evil, corrupt. He's a short, evil, corrupt guy. Evil short guy just wants money. He just wants destroy air. Air make money. His character design is the most forced, goofy character design. I could have made a better one in my sleep. See? So Zac Efron boy leaves town and we see him journey across treacherous lands on his ball bike. He does slapstick until he finds the Onceler's house. Now the Onceler is honestly the only tiny part about the movie that I kind of like. I don't like his story in the movie, but I like his shack. I like his little tower shed. It's like the only part of the book that they kind of did accurately. It's my favorite part because it's the one that didn't make out of thin air. I like that his shack does crazy cool things, like he's like forced himself to be inside there. That's it. That's all I like about this movie. So the Onceler tells Zac Boy about his past and how he's the reason that there are no more trees anymore. He tells about his young dorky self wanting to invent something that everyone buys so he could be a rich boy. He comes across a pretty forest when he was young and he loves it. He finds it the most beautiful place ever and he instantly starts to deforest it. But not before we get some whack singing and dancing. When Dork chops down a tree, he summons Danny DeVito. And Danny DeVito's all like, "The fuck, dude? Why are you messing up our vibes?" Dork dude doesn't give a spit and instead treats Danny DeVito like a dummy that doesn't know what he's talking about. The Onceler ends his stories there and the kid returns the next night to hear more stories. This is where we just get a lot of moping around for 20 minutes instead of moving the plot along to actually tell a story. People just kind of go through bad action sequences or drawn out conversations or 30,000 scenes of cute animals doing cute things. Okay, dude, this movie is boring as hell. This movie is as boring as watching a history class documentary. What kid actually enjoys a scene that goes on like this in an animated movie?
Now that's a thneed. Nothing unmanly about knitting. No, sir.
It's so insanely dull. There is no sense of storytelling here, no sense of emotion or satisfaction that he created something or whimsy about his current location or adorableness of anything, of any kind whatsoever. I'm yawning. This movie literally slumbers until the 50-minute mark where Dork Onceler decides to cut down more trees because his family arrives and tells him to cut down more trees, okay? We then get the worst musical number montage. He cuts down all the trees around him while singing how bad can I be? It's the worst song. It is the worst melody, chorus, everything about it sucks. The animation is like throwing the most minimal effort to make him seem like he's doing something bad without knowing it. Imagine if it was actually animated by a talented studio. The entire sequence feels like a TikTok song, but not even a good kind. And then we get this like uncomfortable moment where it kind of feels like it's supposed to be comedic, but none of it is effective and it just makes me feel gross. We see the last tree cut down and we don't even feel like it matters because nothing in this movie lingers. None of this movie has any emotion. It only lingers on boredom. Instead, the movie just keeps on moving without any sense of emotion. The Onceler gives Zac Efron a seed, a tree seed. So guess what? This short villain guy gonna do? He gonna chase him down for that seed. He gonna chase him to the ends of the tiny town, because how else are we gonna get a big final action sequence for the last 30 minutes? The entire chase sequence for the short guy to steal the seed from him is also boring. Any kid will find this the most boring chase sequence imaginable. Animation itself is not an excuse to be lazy. The camera work, the movements, the overall animation choreography is like a rough draft from an uninterested writer. There's no sense of speed or rush or need to get away. Everything is slow. This is supposed to be a plastic, creative town, and this is what we get? The entire town is supposed to feel like it's some artificial life of fake living and everything. Yet, when you go around the town, especially in this chase sequence, you don't ever see anything that would add to this. You don't feel like the world even needs change, or needs a real tree, or needs life. You don't feel like anything here matters. The story needs needs to have a goal, and it just doesn't have that. This chase scene would be the perfect reason to show us a little bit of the world, because the entire movie we spent so much away from it. So why after the chase sequence are you giving this motivational speech? Why are you saying that things need to change? If you didn't show us like once that it even mattered, why should we even care? But yo, hey, don't worry. Here's another musical number, dude. Here's a stupid musical. Here's the most memeable musical number that is the most laughable trash. Am I being trolled? Am I being punked? Ashton Kutcher, where are you, bud? I see you poking in my closet. Get out of there, Ashton, you fool. We then see the Once-Ler come out of his gross shed because trees are being planted again. He comes out to see Danny DeVito float down from the sky. This moment's honestly kind of romantic. Ooh. And that's the end of the movie. So let me ask you a question. Did anything happen? Did literally anything happen in this movie that seemed like anyone cared? The Lorax definitely didn't care. That man just sat and watched and got passive aggressive to the Once-Ler. This story is about a hormonal teen wanting to save his town that doesn't need saving in order to get his dick wet. Meanwhile, in the past, you got animals just vibing and chilling until someone messes that up. And that's literally the whole movie. This is supposed to be a story about saving the trees and being more environmentally conscious. This is supposed to be a story written to inspire young minds to do better in the world and help the world rather than drain it of all that it's worth. And yet it doesn't tell you any of that. Instead, it wastes your time, it wastes your money, and all the money that was used to make this movie could have gone into helping the planet instead of actually damaging it more, honestly. God. The Lorax didn't care about trees. Look at how much he's doing to stop them. Whoop-de-doo, he didn't do shit. He didn't do anything. You want someone that actually cares about these trees? This man, this guy, Mr. Beast. He's saving the trees. He's the better Lorax. You see, this man is speaking for the trees and saving them. Him and Mark Wahlberg combined their vibe powers in order to get so many YouTubers together to spread one message, that we need to plant some dang trees. Team Trees is this global movement with one goal in mind, to plant 20 million trees by 2020. They've already raised well over 10 million trees, $10 million, $1 per tree, thanks to so many people just spreading the word of this incredible movement. This is the perfect opportunity to be better than the Lorax, to actually make a difference instead of just straight up vibing. So donate down below or spread your awareness of Team Trees. Do your part. Don't just vibe.